Welcome back to Boots on the Ground Oil and Gas. This is episode 2, Oil Company Startup. I'm going to jump right into this. It's very rare to hear about an oil company startup since the oil and gas industry is a mature industry. It's been around for technically for over a century. And so there's the assumption that this is not really the place for startups, as you know, all the room has been taken up and there's not a lot of openings for a new company such as mine. Most startups one hears about are in the tech industry, where there's a lot of room for innovation and new ideas. It seems like every month you hear about some new technology, new app, new company or website being started. So that's where most of the sound bites and the news regarding startups comes from. I launched my company over a year ago, and it's been tough going ever since. Not just because this is the oil business, although that is part of it, but because starting a new business is tough, no matter what industry you're in. Whether it's tech, food, beverage, or oil, it is tough. But let me back up a little bit and answer the most obvious question that somebody might have. I've heard a couple times. What made you decide to do this? Well, like many of you listening, I went to college because I was told over and over that's what you do. Going through middle school and high school, and you're just told over and over that's the golden ticket. That familiar old story: go to college, you graduate, get a good job, get some promotions, make the big bucks, right? Well, of course that did not happen as planned. I did graduate, got an office job. It was an office job that didn't really go anywhere or pay enough to move up in the world. You get a middle-class salary, and after taxes and your standard bills, you don't really have a lot of money to do anything with. So after a few years, I realized that being a cubicle jockey was not for me. It was a go nowhere endeavor for me. So I decided I would go back to school again. That's that same old fallback answer that a lot of people have, myself included, at the time. So that's what I did. I thought that was going to be the solution to my financial stagnation. While I was in school, I received the slap in the face that I needed to take drastic action. While in school for chemical engineering, I applied to be an intern at the local natural gas utility. I thought that with my years of professional experience, existing degrees, I had an associate's, a bachelor's, and an MBA, and I was former U.S. military. I thought I would be a bargain for a company just to get a simple intern job, which is basically just grunt work. They straight off told me to get lost because of my engineering GPA. Now, for those of you that have ever done engineering, it's often claimed to be the most difficult major in all of college, and I would tend to agree. So my grades were much lower than I did when I had my MBA, and so everything else didn't matter. The experience, the existing degrees, the military experience, all that was chucked out the window because my engineering GPA was too low for them. So basically everything else didn't matter except a number, which in the real world doesn't mean a thing. And this was a huge slap in the face for me. At that moment, I made the decision that I would no longer be in a position to take orders from lesser mortals. I had previous experience with energy from a trading and investing point of view. That was part of my office job previously. And I decided that I would venture out and start my own oil company. Obviously, I had no idea how I was going to accomplish this, as this goal was the equivalent of deciding to climb Mount Everest without any climbing experience. So I spent a year planning and learning about the physical oil industry, after which I launched my company in March 2016. In September 2016, me and my company moved to Texas, and that's where we're headquartered now. And since the start, I knew there was going to be some humongous obstacles in the way of success. The first one was, had bank after bank after bank tell me no for a loan to increase my purchasing power for my company, to getting other industry players in the oil industry to take me seriously. If you're brand new, you don't know anybody, you don't have a lot of experience, people don't know that you're serious, they don't know what you're about, so it's hard for them to believe in you. And there were several other challenges. So my company is a true startup. I don't have any private equity funding or bank backing. This is all my own money and my own effort, as I do everything that is needed for the company to operate. All growth is organic and powered by sweat equity. I'll be incorporating more insight into the challenges of an oil startup in my upgraded content series. I'll discuss them as they occur. I will say that every startup has challenges that are probably common no matter what industry you're in, but also each industry presents its own unique challenges. If you compare a tech company versus a restaurant versus some sort of industrial service company versus an oil company, they'll have common challenges that they all have to face, but they all have unique challenges that are specific to their type of business. So thanks for listening to Boots on the Ground Oil and Gas. Until next time, thank you.